This is terrible, but also kind of funny. Bear with me. Someone smashed an Ai Weiwei sculpture at an exhibition opening in Italy, but there's more to this story. Ai Weiwei is an artist, documentarian, and activist. And let me just preface this by saying that from a very cursory look, I agree with him. Mostly he's, out here fighting the power. In addition to filming a lot of documentaries that were often about social issues or critical of authorities, he also has done a lot of sculpture stuff. One notable period started in 2005 when he started blogging, which later turned to tweeting, social commentary, criticism of policy, art, architecture, autobiographical writings, etc. He reached a point where he seemed to be online at least 8 hours every day, but his act of what you and I might call being chronically online has been referred to as performance art. Back to the smashing. The man responsible has been identified as Vaclav Pizvec, who's apparently done similar things before. For example, a year earlier, he shrouded the copy of David in Piazza della Signoria with a black veil in mourning and then set it alight, which caused a ton of damage. In 2018, he used a spray can to deface a work by Urs Fischer. I actually own something of his. He also attacked Marina Abramovich by hitting her over the head with a painting he had made of her, all of which he claims is part of his art. According to Ai Weiwei, Pizvec had approached him a couple days earlier and asked him to read like 20 pages of his notes, to which I said no because he doesn't read Italian. And when Pizvec said get an interpreter, I was like, no thanks. And that's why he thinks he was targeted. As for the smashed sculpture, he was clearly disappointed, and he said it was, quote, crafted using the finest blue and white Xinhua and porcelain techniques, and only true connoisseurs of the Yuan and Ming dynasties porcelain can appreciate the effort and style behind it. See, back in 1995, Ai Weiwei caused a bit of a stir by destroying a 2,000-year-old Han Dynasty urn for the art. And in fact, these photos were on display at that exhibition opening. The piece is unimaginatively named, Dropping a Han Dynasty Urn. See, here's the thing. I think someone walking into an exhibition and vandalizing a piece of art is absolutely horrible. I do not agree with that. But I think this is a lot fucking worse. Ultimately, even though he says he won't, he could in fact just make another one of these sculptures, even though it would take him a long time. We cannot make another Han Dynasty urn that is 2,000 years old and a piece of history. And personally, while yes, you can buy and sell art, I think on some level history belongs to all of us. Ultimately, what really bugs me is the double standard, because people are saying, no, what Pizvec does isn't art. No matter what he says, it isn't art. It is just vandalism. And then turning around and in the same breath saying, what I does is art. Okay, when he destroys a priceless artifact, that's protest. And that we must celebrate. Good grief. Listen, while I would technically agree on the question of artistic merit in this case, even though of course the same has been said about Ai Weiwei's art in the past, when we're comparing the actual two actions, like destroying an Ai Weiwei sculpture and destroying a 2,000-year-old Han Dynasty urn, especially when you realize this guy, the guy who made this ceramic, is the same guy who destroyed this ceramic, like, sorry, dude, my sympathy, gone.